Okay. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is William. Okay. Let me get this out of my... Yeah, okay. Sorry, I think there was some hair on my arm. But anyway, today I go read another part of the Bible. Today I go read Esther Chapter 9. Okay. Now, in the 12th month, that is the month Adar, on the 13th day of the same, when the king's commandment decree drew near to be part of the execution. In the day that the enemies of the Jews hoped had power over them, though it was turned to the contrary of the Jews, had rule over them that hated them. The Jews got themselves together in the cities, ruled the provinces of the king Ahasuerus, lay in the hand of the son of their hurt. No man could withstand them, for the fear of them fell upon all people. And the rulers of the provinces and the lieutenants and the deputies of the officers of the king had helped the Jews, because the fear of Mordecai fell upon them. For Mordecai was great in the king's house, and the fame went throughout all the provinces, and for the men Mordecai waxed greater and greater. Thus of the Jews smote all their enemies and smote of the thus the Jews smote all their enemies with the stroke of the sword and slaughter and destruction, and did what they could unto those that hated them. And in Shushan, the palace, the Jews slew and destroyed 500 men, and Bershantetha, and Delphon, and Alspatha, and Poratha, and Adalia, and Aridatha, and Parmishta, and Arisai, and Aride, and Bejezah, the 10 sons of Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the enemy of the Jews, slew they, but on the spoil laid not their hand. On that day number of those were slain of the Shushan, the palace, was brought before the king. And the king said to Esther the queen, the Jews have slain and have destroyed 500 men, and destroyed in Shushan the palace, and the 10 sons of Haman. What they have done in the rest of the king's provinces. Now what is thy petition? It shall be gathered thee. Or is what thy request further? It shall be done. Then said Esther, if it please the king, then be granted to the Jews, which are in Shushan, to do tomorrow, also according to this day's decree, and that Haman's 10 sons be hanged upon the gallows. And the king's commanded it so be done, and the decree was given to Shushan, and they hanged Haman's 10 sons. For the Jews that were Shushan gathered themselves together on the 14th day also month Adar, and slew 300 men at Shushan, but on the prey they laid not their hand. But the other Jews were the king's provinces to gather themselves together, and slew their lives, and had rest from their enemies, and slew their foes 75,000, but they lay not their hands on the prey. On the 13th day of the month, and on the 14th day, on the same rested day, and made it a day of feasting and gladness. But the Jews were at Shushan, assembled together on the 13th day thereof, and on the 14th day thereof. On the 15th day, on the same day rested, made it a day of feasting and gladness. Therefore the Jews in the villages and enjoyed the unwalled towns. Me on the 14th day of the month, the day of gladness and feasting, and a good day, and sitting in portions one to another. Mordecai wrote these things, and sent letters to all the Jews that were provinces of the king of Assyria, both nigh and far, to establish this among them. They should keep the 14th day of the month Adar, and the 15th day of the same yearly. As the days were in the Jews, rested their enemies, and the month was just turned into from sorrow to joy, and from mourning unto a good day, and that they should make them days of feasting and joy, and the sending portions for one to another, and gifts to the poor. And the Jews overtook to do as they began, as they Mordecai had written unto them. Because Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, the enemy of all the Jews, devised against the Jews to destroy them, and had to cast Purim, that is, the lot, to consume them and to destroy them. But when Esther came before the king, he commanded by the letters that was wicked device, which devised against the Jews, should return upon his own head, that is, his son should be hanged on the gallows. Wherever they call the days Purim after the name of Pur. Therefore all the words of this letter, of that which they had seen concerning this matter, and which had come unto them, the Jews ordained, and took upon them, and upon their seed, and upon all the such that has joined themselves unto them, so as it should not fail, and that they would keep these 2 days according to their writing, and are according to appointed time every year. And these days should be remembered and kept throughout every generation, every family, every province, and every city of these days in Purim should not fail from among the Jews, nor the memorial of the parish of their seed. And Esther, the queen and daughter of Abihail and Mordecai, the Jew, wrote with all the authority to come for the second letter of Purim. And he sent the letters unto all the Jews, to the 127 provinces of the kingdom of Assyria, with the words of peace and truth, to confirm the days of Purim and times appointed, according to Mordecai the Jew, and Esther the queen had enjoined them, as they had to decreed themselves for their seed, the manners of the fastings and the crying. And the decree of Esther confirmed these matters of Purim, and it was written in the book. Okay, that's the ending of Esther chapter 9. Okay. And next video, read Esther chapter 10. Okay. Okay. Anyway, I have to go right now. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoy it, and it's bye.